Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah. I currently live in Orlando and I just completed the Dopey Challenge. The Dopey Challenge is a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a marathon in 4 days, and this is the marathon recap. So, looking at the course, so marathon recap day, or marathon recap. So I will say I started the marathon actually feeling very good. The only thing that I was kind of nervous about was my ankles were so sore from running. There are a lot of kind of like, we're on the back roads of Disney, which are very like slanted. We did like one on the 5K day, and I immediately was kind of like, ooh, I know I'm gonna have to walk that because I knew immediately that my ankles would be sore. So by 5K, 10K, half marathon day, my ankles were definitely feeling it. But that was really the only thing that I woke up and I was like, ooh. And luckily I don't even think by the time I got moving and walking, put my shoes on, I really didn't feel anymore. But that's just something to keep in mind if you're like me and you usually run on flat surfaces. A lot of the roads in Disney, or at least the back roads, are slanted because they're kind of like one of those loops, or you're merging onto a highway or things like that. So first off, I'll put the course up here as always. I did 26.7 miles and a total time of 6:26:32, and my average pace was 14:29. So right off the bat, I will tell you I brought 2 liters of Scratch in my hydration vest, which I think that I drank the entire 2 liters, as well as I religiously fueled every 30 minutes. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt the finish. I finished the marathon feeling, I don't want to say great, but pretty darn good. Obviously it was hard the last few miles, but I definitely don't think I bonked at any point. There was no point that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll finish this. I felt pretty good. So I definitely think everything that I'd done before that, making sure to take it easy, fueling during the races, and then fueling very well during the actual marathon, made a huge difference. So as you know, at this point, we start out in Epcot. I started out doing 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off. And I told myself in the beginning, you need to make that until at least the half marathon. And that's what I did. So we immediately start out, we cut through a teensy bit of Epcot. Then we basically get on the highway and start heading towards Magic Kingdom. So we were just kind of cruising. Nothing really crazy happened until we got to about miles 6 through 9. It kind of started with like a sprinkle, and then it kind of got up to pouring rain. There was no rain on the forecast at all. So luckily I was very confused. Everyone around me was very confused. But it ended up working out okay, but it ended up like pouring for probably at least a mile, and then it was kind of sprinkling and raining some a little bit before and after. So we get to Magic Kingdom. It had just stopped pouring, and I was very happy I got to see my mom and my boyfriend Zar there. If you don't know, since we get to Magic Kingdom before the parks open, they do allow spectators to come in on the Main Street area. So I got to see them, and I think selfishly they were very happy that they got to go into Magic Kingdom as well. So I ended up walking most of Magic Kingdom because it was just very slippery. It had just stopped pouring. So I ended up walking a good amount of it, and plus I just wanted to enjoy it, let's be real. So I was feeling very good here. We left Magic Kingdom and we went on, it looks like Floridian Way, and we kind of passed just a bunch of the Disney resorts, and we went through a golf course. So we were just kind of cruising here. Same thing, stuck with 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Was feeling really good. One thing I do want to point out here is this occurred with all of the races. I feel like it was just a little bit more noticeable in the full, just because I think that it's, 1, their biggest race, and 2, you're just out there for much longer, is that there are some points where it's like a 1-lane road. So it does get pretty narrow, and there were some points where like it was just, I was running slower than it would have been to walk, so I ended up walking, a little bit more. So that's just something to keep in mind. A lot of people say this, but Disney races I don't think are the races that you come to try and run as fast as you can, run your personal best. There's a lot of walkers like myself, and then like I said, just the courses can get really narrow and just make it really hard to run. There were definitely a lot of people, I mean, in all of the races that were getting so frustrated. If you don't know, general courtesy is for walkers to walk on the right, runners on the left. There were some points that, you know, I mean, I was walking on the right, like as far over as I could get, and there were even people who would kind of like yell at me, and I was like, I'm on the right, like, and you know, it is what it is, but I'm also very much that if you get that worked up about it, you're just making the experience less fun for yourself. So that's just something to keep in mind. It is a great race. I would 100% do it again, but if you're wanting to come out and run a PR, I don't think that this is the best race. All right, we went into Animal Kingdom, which I do think was my favorite part. I'm not gonna lie. It started out great. They had a tortoise out at the front, so we got to see a tortoise. And then we went kind of into the back of Animal Kingdom. We went into Asia. Sorry, I'm taking a look. Yeah, mostly went to Asia. We went a little bit into Dino Land, and then we kind of made our way out. The time that I went in to Animal Kingdom, the park had just opened, so it was really cool. There weren't that many people there, but then there were a ton of people, you know, cheering and everything like that, so that was really awesome. So we made our way out of Animal Kingdom. This was, I think, mile 16. And I think around mile 15, 16 I was like, ooh, 4 minutes is starting to feel a little long. So I switched to 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. And this one I told myself too, we need to make it until at least mile 20, and then we can kind of adjust from there. So I switched to 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, and that felt a lot better. So then we ended up going by Disney's Coronado Resort. And then mile 19 through 20. I feel like Disney did us very dirty with this one. We did like this loop around a parking lot. I'll put it up here. But we basically just go into this parking lot, do a loop, and then go out and then keep going. And it wasn't like this huge loop. Like it literally just looked like a bunch of like you know in middle school gym class when like just everyone's running around the 400-meter track. It looked like that. So it was just a little, I don't think it would have been the worst if they didn't do it at mile 20. I feel like mile 20 is such a mentally tough area where like I made it this far, but I still kind of have a ways to go. So yeah, that was like mile 19 through 20. So that was a little interesting. Everyone was just, you could tell, was just kind of like, what the heck? You couldn't find another way to incorporate this mile in there, but whatever. It is what it is. We got through it. Who cares? So then we finished that loop, and then we went into Disney's Hollywood Studios. We really weren't in Hollywood Studios for that long. We went in by Fantasmic, and then I think we went by like the Tower of Terror, and that was about it. Then we were back on the parking lot. So yeah, I think this area, this was, I think, going into mile 21, 22. This was when the 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, I was like, okay, 2 minutes, my legs are not making it anymore. I switched to 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and that worked great. I think I did that around mile 21, 22. So I was like, okay, that's fine, because at this point, we're cruising. I just want to enjoy the process and just get to the finish line. So we went into Hollywood Studios, and then we hit Disney's Boardwalk Resort. And this is when the tears started flying. This was mile around 23. It's just amazing to see how many people come out to support total strangers when they don't even understand what we're doing. And they're like, why the heck would you run 48.6 miles? So Disney's Boardwalk Resort, mile 23, 24, and then mile kind of 24 through 26, we go back into Epcot and we finish. I ended up stopping, I think it was like mile 25 was coincidentally my slowest mile, and that was because I stopped to get a margarita. I debated, and I was like, should I do it? My legs really hurt. And then I was like, I know that if I don't stop, I'm going to regret it. And I'm 100% glad I did it because my finish line photos were awesome. So I basically walked like all of mile 25 to 26 because I had the margarita. Girls got her priorities. And then I kind of like jogged it into the finish. And it was great. That's all I really have to say. I think overall this, even though I had ran all the 5K, the 10K, the half before, I still felt 1,000 times better than my first marathon. And I think that's just because I was really dedicated with training. I was really dedicated with my fueling. And I mean, I went out, I didn't really have any expectations. I knew that I wanted to finish, and I knew that I wanted to have fun, and that was about it. So overall, I mean, I think that it was a great weekend. As much as I wish that I wouldn't say this, I would do it again. But yeah, that was the marathon. I think it went great. Like I said, I actually did the PR. My first marathon, I think, was like 6:37. And so I got, nearly 10-15 minutes off of that. So I'm very pleased with that. That was not the goal, but you know, it was a nice little bonus. And I will say, if you do have the option to get a drink at Mexico or America, a lot of people are getting beer. My mom and Czar said that they saw someone with like a giant turkey leg, which I was like, that's awesome. I would definitely do it. It's one of those, you can't do that in any other race. Let's be real. So I definitely think it's 100% worth it. Like I said, I debated, and then I was like, what marathon am I ever going to be able to get a margarita at mile 25? I'm sorry, none. So yeah, that was really it. I finished the marathon. I got my Dopey picture, of course. And then we went back. This was actually the one day I did not nap. But we went back, got ready. We stayed at a hotel near Disney Springs. And we went back, showered. I did take a little bit of a bath. And I got ready, and then we went and walked around Disney Springs, got dinner, got some Dole Whip, of course, got a pretzel, of course. And I really do think, as much as I wanted to sit my butt on the couch for the rest of the day, I think getting up and moving really did make a huge difference. Let me show you. So this is the marathon shirt. And let me show you all of the medals. Okay, this is the marathon. This one I also think is so cute. So this is, so Minnie and Mickey both go up and down, and then the center, can't get it, and the center also spins, which is awesome. So that is the marathon medal. At the end of the marathon, you also get ears, which I think is so cute. I love these. I didn't know that you got ears at the end, so it made it even better. Let me show you the Goofy medal. So if you don't know, the Goofy challenge is the half marathon and the full marathon. So 39.3 miles. So it's this, and then he runs back and forth, which how cute is that? It's kind of hard to show you without blocking him. Come on, Goofy. There you go. So that's the Goofy medal. And then lastly, the Dopey medal. So this 48.6 miles, and then it does, I don't know if you could tell in the footage, but it does light up as these little jewels here. They light up. Really, that is it. Like I said, as much as I thought that I wouldn't want to do this again, I think I would do it again. Will I don't know, but I would. But like I said, I really think that it went as good as it possibly could. I had a great experience. I was able to walk after this marathon, which didn't happen before. And I do think this is something that if you like running, this is definitely a great event, a great challenge, something that's different. And yeah, I would honestly recommend it. Like I said, with a few caveats of things that you need to be just aware of before going in. But overall, it was a great race, and I had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed my recaps, you enjoyed the footage. I do have the 5K, the 10K, and the half recap, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.